Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty. And if you saw my previous video, I don't know if these are going to go back to back, but I just filmed another video that will be going up first. It was 5 makeup products that I'm glad I didn't buy. And in that video, I mentioned that I finally got a community tab on YouTube, which I'm really excited about. And my first post was a poll with some video ideas asking you guys what you wanted to see first. And the makeup products that I'm glad I didn't buy won, but a close second was makeup brands that I've forgotten about. So that is what we are here to talk about today. I am going to share with you some makeup brands that I either used to purchase from or used to be widely talked about on YouTube that I just kind of forgot about. And then you hear someone mention a brand and you're like, oh, I forgot that used to be a big thing on YouTube. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. Now the first brand that I'm going to talk about is actually the brand that sparked this video. I was watching Angelica Nyquist's, I think it was it her October haul? I knew I should have written it down. I was like, I need to write down specifically what video she mentioned this brand in, but I think it was a haul video and it was recent. Anyway, she mentioned a product by Jordana. And when she mentioned Jordana, I was like, oh my gosh, that is a brand that I completely forgot about. I have not heard anybody talk about Jordana. I haven't purchased anything from Jordana. Like, it completely was off of my radar 100%. And back in the day, oh my gosh, like before I even had a YouTube channel, and I've had my YouTube channel for almost 3 years, I remember watching Shades of Cassie, and she would talk about the Jordana felt tip eyeliners. And I used to go out to my local Walgreens. I think I found Jordana at Walgreens, and I had like the brown and the black eyeliner, and I would use it. I want to say maybe I even tried some mascaras from them or some lip liners from them. But I remember Jordana being at the drugstore, being super affordable. And I think it was a brand that I heard like Shades of Cassie talk about all the time. And then the product that made me stop using Jordana was when I finally got a sample of the Kat Von D tattoo liner. And that is like my holy grail eyeliner. Like if I'm going to do a wing, that's what I'm going to use. So I just didn't purchase Jordana again. And then I completely forgot about it. And watching Angelica's video, I was like, I can't even believe that I forgot about it. Like, Jordana was completely out of my mind. If you've been watching YouTube videos for a while, then you might know that Gerard Cosmetics used to be Whitening Lightning before it was just Gerard Cosmetics. And not only was everybody and their mother on YouTube talking about the teeth whitening products, they were also talking about the little brow bar, I want to say there was like a wax and then a light brown and a dark brown like eyebrow powder, I guess. Carly Bible used to rave about it. I feel like Nicole Guerrero used to use it. A lot of YouTubers talked about this eyeshadow product. Then they came out with those, were they lip glosses? I don't think they were liquid lipsticks. They came out with lip glosses that had the mirror on the side and they were lighting up when you opened them up. And I actually purchased a lot of those. When they collabed with Jaclyn Hill, I got her buttermilk one. I had several different shades. I think at one point I had like 5 of those lip glosses. I also got the lipstick in 1995 or 93. Now there's so many 1990s. I think it was 1995. The collab with Jaclyn Hill, but I did not like the lipstick because it was super duper dry. But there was a time when everybody was talking about their Gerard Cosmetics code. Everybody was using the Whitening Lightning products. Everybody was using the Brow Bar to Go. Everybody was talking about those lip glosses. And every now and then, every now and then, you hear Gerard Cosmetics here and there. But that's another brand where I'm like, I just don't think about them. Like, they do not pop into my mind until I'm watching a video and someone mentions Gerard Cosmetics, which doesn't happen very often anymore. I know they had like a scandal and that. I feel like that kind of hurt their brand because a lot of YouTubers like disassociated themselves with the brand, and now we just don't hear about it on YouTube anymore. So if you are still a Gerard Cosmetics fan, let us know down below and let us know if they came out with any new products lately. But I know that's definitely a brand that does not cross my mind anymore. When I knew that I wanted to create this video, after thinking about Jordana and having that brand pop into my head, I was trying to think about makeup that I used like way long ago, like back when I was in high school or college, and makeup brands that I used back then that I've just kind of forgotten about. And one brand that I thought about is Almay. Now, Almay's still at the drugstore, but I feel like I've never heard anybody on YouTube talk about Almay or however you say it. But back in college, I used to use their eye makeup remover wipes. They had like little cotton rounds. I would use them to remove my makeup. And also, I remember, I want to say, was it Kate Hudson was the actress that did the Almay commercials? Remember when they came out with those trios where there were 3 different colors and the 3 different eyeshadow shades were supposed to be based on your eye color? So I went out and got the one for hazel eyes, and I want to say that it had like almost like a shimmery brow bone shade, a pink shade, and then a brown shade. And the brown would go in your crease, and the shimmery white shade, bone shade, whatever it was, would go in your highlight, and the pink shade would go on your lid. And I went through like 2 or 3 of those because back in college, that was my makeup look. Like, I did not have other eyeshadows. I had that one trio. I would do my signature look, throw a little eyeliner on, and call it a day. And then I used those Almay makeup removing wipes. But they're definitely not products that I have used probably in like 8 to 9 years. I think I've been out of college for almost 9 years now. So like literally college was the last time that I used those makeup products. And you just never hear anybody talk about Almay, however you say it. And so I never think about them because I don't purchase from them either. And lately, my channel is kind of geared more towards high-end products now, and I want to get more into drugstore. But even when people talk about drugstore brands, they're still not really talking about Almay. How do you say it? Which way is correct? Please let me know down below. I have to apologize if my lighting is getting darker. I film in front of a window and then I have one umbrella light, but it's raining, it's dark, it's dreary. I want to say it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's getting darker now, so I apologize for that. But let's move on. Another brand that I completely forgot about, and I only remembered it when I was scrolling through ULTA's website, was Million Dollar Tan. Do you guys remember when everyone was promoting their tanner? They had like this mousse tanner, and it was supposed to make you really dark, and then I think they even had an express one. Everybody was talking about Million Dollar Tan. I remember Casey Holmes was talking about it a lot. A lot of people were raving about Million Dollar Tan. They had codes for it, and I remember even purchasing it one time when it came to Hautelook. I think that's what it was, is it came to Hautelook. So I purchased Million Dollar Tan, and I think I maybe used it once, and then I was like, this just is not worth it for me. Like, you have to take time to apply it and let it soak in and wash it off, and the self-tanner life is not for me, okay? I will just be pale. If I'm going to get a fake tan, I'll do a spray tan. But I remember everybody talking about Million Dollar Tan. That was the self-tanner that everyone was using. I even had a girlfriend of mine who was using it, and now I literally don't hear anybody use it. I really don't hear anybody promoting self-tanners anymore. I feel like people are still doing self-tanning, but just nobody's talking about it anymore. But if you still use Million Dollar Tan, let me know down below. Cargo is another brand that I wouldn't say that this one was huge all over YouTube, but I do remember people talking about Cargo on YouTube, specifically their blushes, the blushes that came in those little round tins. And I want to say you could find them at Kohl's. Now, I never purchased anything from Cargo. I thought about getting those blushes a lot. For whatever reason, I just never ended up getting them. But I do remember every now and then people would talk about Cargo Cosmetics, and then like nobody talks about them anymore. With the exception of, I think I was watching a PR unboxing by Madison Miller, because she does a lot of those, and she received something from Cargo. And then I was like, oh, like that's another brand that I completely forgot about just because nobody's talking about it anymore. And I feel like that probably goes to show how heavily influenced my purchases are by YouTube. Like, YouTube definitely has a heavy influence on me. Soap and Glory is another product. I want to say that they are UK based, but I actually remember when Soap and Glory was exclusively at Sephora, and they had this jar of, like, this body butter jar that everybody raved about, and I actually went out and got it, and I want to say that it was like $20. Now, I remember getting that jar of body butter, and I remember actually really liking it. It was very moisturizing, very comfortable on the skin. It wasn't heavy. But then I never really tried anything else from them. But people were talking about Soap and Glory. They were raving about the body butter specifically, but I want to say people were using other products too. And then I feel like once Soap and Glory moved into the drugstore, people stopped talking about it. Because now they're like in Walgreens and CVS, and I feel like nobody talks about Soap and Glory anymore. And I've always thought about repurchasing that body butter, but I never have. But they're another brand, like, I don't think about them until I walk past them in the drugstore aisle, and then I'm always like, oh yeah, like Soap and Glory. They're still here. They're in drugstores now. But I don't ever think about it on my own anymore. Again, back in the day, people were all about those Inglot eyeshadows. I remember Inglot eyeshadows being all over YouTube. People were creating their own custom palettes. Everybody was talking about the Inglot gel liner. And I remember, like, I wanted Inglot eyeshadows so bad, but I feel like perhaps they were a little expensive. I can't remember exactly, but I ended up going to Las Vegas, and this was a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I want to say it was before my channel. I went to Las Vegas with some of my girlfriends, and we were shopping, and there was an Inglot store, and I remember going in there and like looking at all of the shadows, and I think I almost purchased some, but I didn't. But I like remember watching Inglot videos and like writing down the names of the shades that people were showing because I wanted to try them out. But I like never hear anybody talk about Inglot anymore. I think Jennifer Lopez did just do a collab with them, if I'm remembering that correctly. I think I saw that on the Trend Mood Instagram page. But like, I never hear people talking about their Inglot eyeshadows or doing tutorials with their Inglot eyeshadows anymore. So if you have any Inglot eyeshadows and you're still a fan, let us know if you're still using them, because I just feel like nobody even uses Inglot anymore. And the last brand that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to wrap this up because I feel like my lighting situation is just getting darker by the minute, is hard candy. A lot of YouTubers, and this wasn't too long ago, this was after I had my YouTube channel, I feel like a lot of YouTubers were talking about specifically the hard candy highlight, but you heard people talking about other hard candy products and saying that it was a really good brand from the drugstore. I think you can find hard candy at Walmart, but everybody was raving about the highlighters that they have, or maybe one specific highlighter, and I remember people like trying to dupe it and just saying that hard candy was a really good brand. I never tried anything out from them. I remember their packaging always kind of looked a little like cheap to me, you know? So I never really got into it. But hard candy is another one. Like, I was scrolling through ULTA trying to remember brands that I had forgotten because, of course, these are brands that I forgot about. And hard candy was one that I came across, and I was like, oh yeah, like people used to talk about that brand a lot. And now I don't see anybody using hard candy highlighters anymore. So that's just another brand that has fallen off the face of the earth for me that I just don't ever think about. And that's gonna do it for this video. It was just supposed to be fun and lighthearted. Like I said, I was watching Angelica's video and she talked about Jordana, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about them. So then I started trying to like look on Sephora and Ulta's websites to remember other brands that I forgot and write them down for you guys. But I would love to know in the comments down below, what are some brands that you've forgotten about that maybe you saw someone mention in a video, or you walked by it in store and you were like, oh my gosh, like I just completely forgot about you. Or are you still a user and lover of some of the brands that I mentioned? Because that's definitely possible. But otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, you can go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. I do post twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but I try to throw a bonus video up every now and then on Mondays or Tuesdays. So if you are subscribed, you'll be notified when I post. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.